per Alessandro Marchetti, Fulvio Ferri e Andreas Bodellini. La vittoria nella GT3 AM è andata a Milos Pavlovic, a Florian Spengler e a Joao Zumborn. Tutti a podio, dovrebbe essere Alberto Dossi, sì, membro del consiglio di amministrazione della SIAS Autódromo di Monza, che va a premiare partendo dalla terza posizione.
It's time to go racing for one final time in the A new winner in Ugo Ugochukwu yesterday, who took the top step of the podium for the first time. Will there be another today as we conclude season 4 of the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine? Welcome everyone to your live coverage here at Monza. What we do have is a new driver on pole. His name is Teofil Niall, and he is speaking to Laura live from pole position.
Yeah, you give yourself the best chance to close the season with a win. So what's the plan for leading to Peking to T1?
Well, the plan is to stay first after T2, but I will do my best. Well, the view from there, it's amazing. So yeah, excited to start the race.
Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. Good to hear from Teofil Niall. He may be new to pole position, but he wouldn't be new to the top step. Teofil taking the win back at the Red Bull Ring, but it's a very first pole position for the Santalok racing team. Stiff competition alongside him, though. Fellow Frenchman Alessandro Giusti will be alongside, looking to end on a high for the ART Grand Prix team, who are in a three-way battle for second in the team's championship. He could do a great job for them if he's to go and get that race win here today, and would have the support of Evan Gilter as well. Alessandro Giusti will start from the front row of the grid alongside next to Rafael Camara, who will be starting on row 2. Is Ugo Ugochukwu, who won yesterday. So it's Rafael Camara starting from row 2, already the champion today, and Ugo Ugochukwu will be alongside. Let's hear from Rafael Camara, looking for a record-breaking 9th win in this one.
You arrived at Monza already crowned champion, but from the second row, can you try to close the year with one last victory?
Yeah, last race in Fracas. Very happy about this year, and I will do my best to fight for this win. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very calm and composed. Rafael Camara joined Hadrian David in the record books at 16 podiums yesterday. He is the man smashing all the records in this championship, and he will want to go and get that 9th win. He has been in the top 10 in every single qualifying session this season. All 20 qualifying sessions, Rafa Camara has been in the top 10. That's what Tim Tramnitz did last year. It has been 31 qualifying sessions in a row that Rafael Camara has been in the top 10 whilst racing in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. And that is consistency of a champion, and a driver now who is heading to FIA Formula 3 to race with reigning champions, 2 times reigning champions Trident from here on in. But of course, he will be in the red and white of Prema Racing. If you weren't with us yesterday, Prema Racing got a 1-2-3 finish, a full podium lockout, and it was the first time we have seen a team do that for 3 years. It happened 3 years ago in the very same race, race 1 at Monza. In the season finale, it was RSGP who did it on that day with Hadrian David, Isaac Hadjar and Zane Maloney. So a full circle story, although it was Prema Racing who did it that time. We could crown another champion in this race. I say we could, we will. Noah Stromstead leads Evan Gilter by 23 points in the fight for the Rookie Championship, and James Wharton looking to close out Vice Champion title. We'll go through that. Let's go through the grid first of all. An all-French front row. Teofil Niall getting Santalok Racing on pole position for the first time. He has Sandro Giusti with Williams-backed driver, and then it's Rafa Kamara and Ugo Ugachukwu, the Prema Racing teammates, next along. Enzo Peugeot, P5 for him. Let's see if he can get a podium today. James Wharton is certainly hoping for that, but more focused on closing out second in the championship. Tuka Tappinen could get a top 3 in the championship today as well. Matteo De Paolo alongside him on home soil. Pedro Clero will be on row 5 alongside Zach David. Then Brando Badua, home race for him. Then it's Evan Gilter, who needs a win to stand any chance of becoming rookie champion. Kinato Lee and Nikita Bedrin, who was absolutely flying in qualifying earlier. Watch for him for P14. Nanda Woodbid and Backley and Noah Stromsted come next. May not need any points to become rookie champion. Giovanni Maschio and Enzo Deligny next. Then Roman Belinsky and Nikhil Bora. That's a personal best for Giovanni Maschio in qualifying terms. Valerio Rinicella and Dorian Pan are next. Then Nico Lacorte from 23rd was very quick yesterday. Marta Garcia is next. Ricky Liu has a grid drop of 4 places for his incident with Pedro Clero. Nico Lacorte drops 2 places. Edgar Pierre is next. Then it's Roman Andriolo and Yaroslav Veselau also with a 2-place grid drop. Ivan Dominguez, watch from him from 29th on the grid. Not a good qualifying, but he will be the hard charger in this race. Huang Dat Soya from P30, the Vietnamese driver. And then Jet Bowling, the American, going from the very back of the grid. Unusual sights. This is the first real time we're seeing the drivers out in the dry conditions on the slick tires. They did about 5 push laps over the course of pre-event collective testing and collective testing. So this really is a step into the unknown for the drivers. Who is going to nail the setup? Who is going to find their feet the fastest? Will the experience for Sandro Giusti help alongside Teofil Niall, who is racing in the championship for the first time? He may not be a rookie, but he has stepped up as Spanish F4 champion this season. Rafa Kamara, can he use that experience in the top 10 every single qualifying session this season? Can he get that record-breaking 9th win? How about Ugo Ugachukwu on the podium? Yesterday, he said he wants to close out with another win. What this does mean is we will have push to pass active in this 30 minutes plus 1 lap race. They will get to use that 5 times when we cross the line at the end of lap 1. We don't know when they're quite using it, but when they are in 4th gear, they can hit the button on the steering wheel and use it to go through and pass drivers around them. Or if you're the likes of Teofil Niall and Sandro Giusti, you can also use it in defense as well. We must watch for the rookie title fight. It's our only title fight yet to be decided. Evan Gilter starting P12 must win the race in our F1 points style system to stand any chance of closing a 23-point gap to Noah Stromsted, who starts P16. We'll keep an eye on that. For James Wharton, he has a 23-point advantage over Tuka Tappinen. So Tuka Tappinen, again, must win the race. James Wharton just needs a top 8 to secure 2nd place in the championship. He starts P6. For Tappinen, he just needs a top 8 to secure a championship podium, and he starts in 7th place. For Noah Stromsted, he just needs, you've guessed it, a top 8 to secure the rookie title, and he starts P16. We'll monitor those as we go through. We've also got 3 points between Van Amersfoort Racing and RHGP in the race for 2nd in the team's championship as well. We'll keep an eye on that. Van Amersfoort have 1 driver in the top 10 in 9th, RHGP 2 in 7th and 10th, and just 3 points between them. ARTGP 37 points back, and they have a driver on the front row. Okay, green flag waves for the final time in 2024. Sandro Giusti to the left of screen, Teofil Niall to the right, and we are go for the final time this season in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. Teofil Niall leading us down towards Rettifilo. Look to the far right of screen. Here comes Rafa Kamara, sending it round the outside of Sandro Giusti and taking 2nd place. It looked like Enzo Peugeot or Matteo De Paolo may have picked up some front wing damage there. It certainly would have taken a knock if not, but it looks like bar one or two drivers going through the cut through. I think we're all through nice and safely round Curva Grande for the first time. Into the Roger chicane, and Rafa Kamara is through and ahead of Teofil Nile and into the race lead. A blinding start there for our champion. Rafa Kamara leads us into Lesmo 1 for the first time. One or two running slightly wide in the background, but Kamara it is who leads us in towards Lesmo 2. Teofil Nile will have to just compose himself here behind the champion. This is the exact view he had in qualifying earlier. Oh no, a Kick Motorsport car. I think that might have been Nandavud Bidon-Bhakti running wide up at the top of screen. He was starting just outside the top 10, but Nandavud Bidon-Bhakti dropping back through the order. We're starting P15 as we're side by side, a G4 car there and a Van Amersfoort racing car. Kenato Lee and Brando Badua in the orange and black Van Amersfoort car there and making a bit of contact. Giovanni Maschio trying to go around the outside a little bit up ahead. That's James Wharton round the outside there of Enzo Peugeot. James Wharton takes P5 round the outside of Parabolica. Well, we have the Delano Vantoff award this season, where drivers are trying to pull off the best overtakes. You've been voting for your best overtakes, and James Wharton pulling off an absolute cracker here. Delano himself made 14 places in this race when we came here in 2022. Through Retafilo we go now and up towards Curva Grande. Teofil Nile in a little bit of danger in second place. He's got Sandro Giusti alongside Zach David there. The Van Amersfoort car of Pedro Clero. Van Amersfoort versus RHGP. That's the battle for second in the team's championship as we cut back to the battle for second. Sandro Giusti in the red and black. ART is through, and that was Pedro Clero running wide. Oh, and someone on the grass. Who's that? That's Evan Gilter running onto the grass in the red and black ART. Slots back in behind Zach David. Points to the top 10. Push to pass is active now, so they can use that. A slowing RPM is Noah Stromstead. Noah Stromstead there has to keep out of trouble in this race just in case Evan Gilter is to come through and take the lead. So far, so good for James Wharton in terms of getting second in the championship. The same can be said for Tuukka Tapanen in terms of securing third in the championship. Noah Stromstead, as it stands, will be our rookie champion. Long way to go, though, as you look to the top left-hand side of screen. 26.5 minutes. A lot of things can happen during then. We said to watch for Nikita Bedrin. His pace in qualifying very good before he brought out a red flag as 27. I'm going to pause myself there. Edgar Pierre is under investigation. I imagine that'll be for a false start. He is under investigation. Those are usually slam dunk penalties. We'll keep an eye on that, but it seems Edgar Pierre may have been a little too quick off the line. As round the outside, there goes Nikita Bedrin on Roman Belinsky. Beautiful driving. That was Belinsky trying to get on the attack. Didn't quite manage to get through. Good defensive driving from Nikita Bedrin in the end. Can the Polish driver, Roman Belinsky, try and come back through to take position? Meanwhile, a change in the podium places. Ugo Chukwu is now into P3, and Nikita Bedrin holding on to P12 once again. He's having to fight very hard to do so, though. Oh, we got a car off in the top of screen. That's Giovanni Maschio rejoins into the path, or almost into the path. I won't do that to him. Nikhil Bora there. Nikhil Bora just managing to avoid him. Ivan Dominguez going through. Trying to come through the order. Ivan Dominguez as they head now down the hill towards Ascari. There is Yaroslav Vesilau in the background. And, oh, have we got a puncture here for Roman Belinsky? Well, we certainly had a big lock-up there. Smoke pouring off of his tyre. And Roman Belinsky there had to... I think we might have front wing damage. We certainly don't have a puncture, but it looks like Roman Belinsky has an injured car there as he heads down. And we have a very injured car. To Roman Andriolo, we'll have a safety car, yes. And I think we might see a Roman Belinsky coming into pit lane because there was smoke coming off of his car, and I think the front wing is damaged. We've got Roman Andriolo's car severely damaged. We didn't quite see exactly what happened there. Safety car is out, meanwhile, and will pick up the field. Just under 25 minutes remaining as they head through. Picture now. And there we see them all coming through. Let's keep an eye. Belinsky's front wing seems to be just shaking. He might get away with it for the time being. But round Curva Grande, the field go. Let's confirm the... there you can see the front wing damage of Roman Belinsky. Good work from the team in the gallery. That is the front wing damage Roman Belinsky has. I imagine we will probably see him in to fix that. Kamara is our leader. Giusti is second. Ukachukwu is third. Kamara is our champion. All he can do now is further break the records he is doing in this championship and see out what has been a very, very memorable journey with this Prema Racing team for the time being before he goes on to race with Trident in FIA Formula 3. For Sandro Giusti, he would love to end on the top step of the podium. Ukachukwu will continue on with Prema Racing in FIA Formula 3 next year. And since that announcement has been made, the confidence levels in him have really risen. He's always had the pace in that car, and we've seen his abilities in Formula 4, and now this would be a great way for him to end. Teofil Nile, I think, will welcome this safety car. We've got a 66 and 16 under investigation for that incident, so it seems Ricky Liu may have had some involvement in that incident, or at least that's what the stewards are suggesting to us. So that's an incident that will be investigated after the race, and no surprise there with Andriolo out of it. Teofil Nile fourth. I think we'll welcome this intervention. We'll just want to settle himself down. It's happened at Ascari. There we can see the car of Andriolo now being recovered. James Wharton is P5. This just brings all the group back together. Enzo Peugeot doing very well in P6. He's 15th in the championship, is Enzo Peugeot. He has been in the top 5 before, a best result of 5th, which came at Red Bull Ring on a very, very memorable weekend for Santalok Racing. He and Niall have worked very well together this weekend, and we can't count out De Paolo from that, who's just in the top of picture in the number 2. Santalok Racing as a unit are growing and growing into this championship and single-seater racing as a whole very, very quickly, and that should be a warning sign to their competitors for next season. De Paolo will be off in Bahrain for the rookie test in the World Endurance Championship a little later this year, and so will Freca alumni driver. Congratulations to Esteban Masson, who's going to be testing a hypercar out there as well. Pedro Clero is P9. Then it's Zach David in P10. Pedro Clero doesn't feel he's had the best of fortunes this weekend, but he's right there in 9th place. He's got a good chance from there. Then it's Evan Gilter. Needs to win this race to stand a chance of becoming rookie champion. In the wet, he felt they had the pace to do that, but in the dry, is that pace going to be reflected? Then we have Belinsky, who's going to continue on. You have that front wing moving around, but he feels he's okay to keep going. Bedrin, 12th place. Lee in 13th. Badua in 15th place, has dropped back a little bit in this race. Stromstead is just keeping his nose clean in 16th. We did see him briefly slowing out of Lesmo too, but other than that, it looks like he's just been trying to stay out of trouble. Rinicella is 17th, and Bora is 18th, and it's Dominguez who's on a charge. He's gained 10 places, has Ivan Dominguez so far in this race. He could be one to watch. He's cleared through a lot of drivers. He's 19th. Maschio is 20th, Lacorte 21st, Deligny 22nd, then Pan Pierre, who was under investigation for the start. I haven't seen anything else to that yet, but we can just bear that one in mind. Liu will be investigated after the race in 25th. Garcia is 26th, then Vesselalpin and Bakdi. Sawyer, 29th. Bowling and Andriolo. The drivers just making their way down to Ascari. We had the autograph session here at Monza a little earlier on today at 11:30 to 12, and huge turnouts as always, and a massive thanks to anyone who came in support of the FRECA drivers this season. They really do appreciate it. Today it was a case of having to stop the line because we had to get the drivers back so they could have lunch. It was really an overwhelming amount of support, and the drivers were hugely appreciative of it, and that's something we'll look to continue going into 2025. So be sure to look out for us next season. We will be heading to Misano on the 3rd and 4th of May. Misano will be a first for the FRECA Championship. We've traveled to some fantastic venues. Of course, we have a similar pattern now, which is used to prepare the drivers for the next step, and is done so very successfully, with Gabriel Bortoleto becoming Formula 3 champion, and also Leo Fornaroli, who's here this weekend. And we can't, of course, not mention the drivers fighting for the Formula 2 title. We already mentioned Bortoleto, Isaac Hadjar, and then Franco Colapinto settling very quickly into Formula 1, and Kimi Antonelli going there for Mercedes next year. It's a calendar that does its job in that sense. But Misano will swap in for Mugello, and that's where we're going to start the season on the 3rd and 4th of May, supporting the Italian GT Championship, which has been here today, and huge crowds, as you can see from that angle. Big thanks to everyone for their support. Spa will be after that on the 17th and 18th of May, then Zandvoort on the 7th and 8th of June for DTM. And if you haven't been to watch a DTM race, hugely advise, if you're near Zandvoort, you go and do so. Very good atmosphere you get there. Hungaroring round 4 on the 5th and 6th of July, and then we will have the 19th and 20th of July for Paul Ricard. We'll be back with the Italian GTs here, and no doubt the Tifosi out in big support on the 2nd and 3rd of August. Then we will have Red Bull Ring on the 6th and 7th of September. 20th and 21st of September will be Barcelona, and then Hockenheim on 4th and 5th of October, before we conclude back here at Monza for the Italian GTs on this weekend, 25th and 26th of October. Season finale at Monza, the best way to see out a season, in my opinion. Safety car is going to be in this lap. Make sure you do come and support us. We've already announced our first driver, and Freddie Slater, who's going to be racing with Prema. Keep an eye on the socials to see who will join him there and who the remaining drivers will be. No doubt those announcements will come in thick and fast. Italian F4 and F4 UAE champion will go there. 6 drivers from this grid already announced in FIA Formula 3 as well. Many of them off to Macau, so keep an eye on them there with the Formula Regional FIA World Cup. Okay, safety car in this lap. Let's fully focus back to this race now. Rafa Kamara. Let's see if he can add to his victories and end his championship-winning season on the top step of the podium. He will bring the field now down towards Parabolica. He started the season with a win at Hockenheim. Can he now top and tail that and end it with a win? Sandro Giusti sat there right in behind him. Rafa Kamara taking a similar tactic to what we saw Ugo Ugachukwu do in the wet yesterday, and getting his foot down nice and early before Parabolica, and it's worked very well. Rafa Kamara leads us now down the start-finish straight. We will have push to pass available next time they cross the line, but for now Rafa Kamara has, we won't be racing for very long, because Brando Badua, the Italian, is off before we have even got going here as James Wharton sends it down the inside of Teofil now, and Ugo Ugachukwu almost into a spin. Chaos down at the first corner. We've got a Van Amersfoort off. We've got a Santalot car off as well. One of the R-Race GP cars is off. Pedro Clero, I'm going to assume. Matteo De Paolo is the other car. Zach David, I think, is the other car. There is Brando Badua out of the race. It is Rafa Kamara leading there from Giusti. Teofil Nile has hung on. Ugo Ugachukwu, damage limitation for the American driver, is still in the top 10. Managed to save the car, but only just about. Has he picked up any damage is the question. It seems he was going round okay as they make their way now behind the safety car. So here's what happened then. Wharton goes to the inside, and Ugachukwu, did he get tagged, I wonder? To the right of screen, we had contact there. Let's have a look. Well, Ugachukwu seems to just lose it on his own. And then in the background, a mess between Clero. Tapanen is the car that was involved. The number 8. So that was the R-Race GP car involved. Oh, it was Clero who went down the inside, over the curb, into De Paolo, into Tapanen. So it wasn't Zach David. He was through okay in 11th. But it was Tapanen that was involved in that one. Where does he rejoin is the question. 27th. Well, there could be big implications to that one now. If Alessandro Giusti wins this race, he would take 3rd from Tuukka Tapanen in this championship. There's just a 21-point gap between them. Of course, as it stands, the gap would close by 18 points. But if Alessandro Giusti can go and win this race, then he would leapfrog Tuukka Tapanen and climb ahead of the Finn. So big things at stake here. That's honestly just been a sign of Tuukka Tapanen's fortunes. A stricken car. He's really not had things go his way. He's got the contract for FIA Formula 3 next season. It was going so well for him at times. He was unbeatable throughout the middle course of this season, but the latter part has just been filled with misfortune. He's managed to keep getting podiums out of bad weekends, and that's kept him within that championship podium fight come this point. But now the opportunity very much there for Giusti, and would have been there for Brando Badua, I have to say as well, had he not been in trouble and had he been in the position of Giusti. I've no idea what happened to Brando Badua because he was off before we even started, but he will be under investigation for whatever it was that happened to him. That was at T11 I'm seeing. So Brando Badua, T11 will be investigated, which is Parabolica. So clearly he's had an incident down at the final corner. And all we saw was the front nose was completely destroyed. So, well, it's hard to say what has happened there. Doesn't look like we lost any further cars from the race. So we will find out in the post-race investigations. And let's clear up the order now that we've got to the bottom of those incidents. It was an Ugo Ugachukwu spin that he managed to gather up, and then a Clero misjudgment, I think we can put that down to, that has seen him collide into De Paolo and Tuukka Tapanen, taking Tapanen out of the race. Clero is out, De Paolo looks to be out as well. Safety car is in this lap. Kamara is your leader, Giusti is second, Niall is third, and then it is Wharton, Peugeot fifth, Bedrin, one of the big beneficiaries, now in sixth. Ugachukwu is seventh, Belinsky is eighth, Gilter is ninth, Kanato Lee is 10th. Gilter needs to win to become rookie champion. The main thing we're watching for now is Alessandro Giusti in second. If he can take the win, he snatches a championship podium away from Tuukka Tapanen, who's watching this race from somewhere around the circuit. Rafa Kamara could become the very good ally of once his championship rival Tuukka Tappinen. Here we go then for the final 10 minutes. Rafa Kamara leads us in towards Parabolica for the restart into the final 10 minutes of the 2024 season. Green flag waving at Monza. Kamara down the start-finish straight. Push to pass will be active at the end of this lap. Uga Chukwu on the recovery job straight away. Teofil Niall back into the podium positions straight away, defending from James Wharton there as they go in towards turn 1. So Teofil Niall's through. Oh, someone's gone straight over the cut through there. That's a Van Amersfoort car, which I'm going to assume is Ivan Dominguez there. Van Amersfoort in a championship fight with R-Race GP here, but it's not going well for either team so far. In towards Rogier chicane now we go. So a complete misjudgment from a hard-charging Ivan Dominguez, who started this race in 29th. He's in P15. Can he go through even further? Nikita Bedrin having a superb race himself as well. Started 14th, he's in 7th. Kanato Lee defending into Lesmo 2. He started this one P13. Oh no, we've got double yellow flags out again. I fear we could have another safety car as we're side by side at the top of screen. Enzo Peugeot looking to the inside of Wharton. Nikita Bedrin side by side with Uga Chukwu, and Dorian Pan is back racing. So Dorian Pan, not the end of the season she would have hoped for. I really hope we see her return for another run, because it's been so great to have them, the Iron Dames team, and Marta Garcia and Dorian part of this championship. Down the inside, James Wharton makes his move on Teofil Niall. Will we see these guys try and almost work together to get after Kamara and Giusti? Giusti staring at a championship podium. You can almost see him trying to get his head down here as he charges after Kamara. Down the start-finish straight. What a fight this is for third place. It's Niall to the right of screen, Wharton to the left. White line defensive job going on as Niall goes round the outside, down the inside. Great racing between the pair, and Niall is through into third place. So Santalog Racing back on the podium for what would be the second time this season, and Teofil Niall the one putting them there. Ricky Liu is under investigation again, I'm afraid, and that looks to be for the incident that included Dorian Pan and James Wharton running slightly wide, or was he? There, it's now Niall on the gravel on the exit there, elbows out, driving for James Wharton, and Teofil Niall there on the opposite end of that, fully felt the elbow from Wharton there onto the gravel, and now he's dropping back behind Enzo Peugeot and Uga Chukwu. He will want to get his revenge. He'll want to get back after the Australian, and Edgar Pierre is off down at the Rogier chicane, unfortunately. So Edgar Pierre down at the Rogier chicane is off. Nikita Bedrin is down the inside of Teofil Niall, and that's P6. Oh no, we have two more cars off. Oh wow, it's hard to keep up with this one, isn't it? Two cars off. Is that at Lesmo 2, I wonder? Let's find out. Hard to see who those drivers were, but I think that will be revealed very shortly when we find out who does not come through. Oh, there we go. That's where we saw a Trident colliding with Pierre. It's don't know who that was that collided with him, and that's a spinning Trident and a car going straight into the path. Let's have a look there. Well, it's Ricky Lee, who's had a really miserable race, to say the least, and spins into the path of Nandavud Binam Bhakti, and his car is now on fire. He's out safely, and the safety team are straight over to extinguish that. So red flag is out, and that is absolutely no surprise. The clock will be stopped at 5 minutes and 28 seconds. There is a chance that we could see that being concluded, but we will find out, given how far into the race we are. The safety car will pick up the field. The clock is stopped, and there is the safety team doing their work. They're just checking Ricky Liu is okay. he is walking away from the incident. That's a real shame to see that all play out as it did. Just a mistake from Ricky Liu into the path of an oncoming Nanda Woodbidden Bhakti, and a real shame that was to happen. As expected, the race will not resume. So it's confirmed that our winner will be Rafael Camara. The race will go back a lap as well. We must remember that. So the race, as we see it on the screen, will change slightly when the result comes out with a red flag. We do put the race back one lap. But as we see it now, Rafael Camara will be our race winner. And that is a record-breaking 9th win for the champion. Alessandro Giusti, P2 for him. James Wharton ends on the podium, so not quite third in the championship for Sandro Giusti. Will be disappointed he did not get his chance to fight Rafa Camara there for the win. But safety measures have to come first in these instances, and that's an incident that is going to take more than 5.5 minutes to clear up, with the medics having to do what they have to do to first extinguish what was a car in flames for Nanda Woodbidden Bhakti, then release the driver safely. Any barrier repairs, we were never going to get this race back underway. And here is why. Ricky Liu spins. Nanda Woodbidden Bhakti has done his best to avoid it, but as he has done, he's found no other option but to collide with Ricky Liu and the barriers, and there will be repair works that may need to be done there, and that is going to be that. So I think the correct decision taken by the officials in the end. Race will not resume, so that will be our order. I'll run through the top 10 as we see it on the screen. Rafa Camara, with maybe just a slight change there. Rafa Camara will be our race winner. Then he will take a record-breaking 9th win, and what a result it has been for Rafael Camara. The result I can see has just updated itself now to put Nanda Woodbidden Bhakti and to 21st place. So, and Ricky Liu 19th place. So they have just made the updates to the timing screen there. Rafa Camara, P1 is the official result, though. That's a record-breaking 9th win. He was on 8 wins in terms of his FRECA career, tied with Paul Aron and Gregoire Saucy. He now moves to 9 wins and 17 podiums. That is records in both categories there. He is the man who has completely shattered the record books. Alessandro Giusti will just miss out on a championship podium, and James Wharton is confirmed as our vice champion for 2024. Prema Racing confirmed as our champions. Noah Stromstead in P10 is confirmed as the rookie champion for 2024 in P10. Niall is 4th. Well done to him. 2 P4s. And Peugeot in 5th. We'll go through the order in a sec. Let's first celebrate Rafael Camara, who jumps out of his car. What a season for him. Started on the top step of the podium and ends it on the top step of the podium as well. Goes to celebrate with his teammate and now vice champion James Wharton, who jumps out of his car as well. It's a 1-2 finish in the championship for Prema Racing. They lead with the Brazilian champion, Rafael Camara there, who can now fully celebrate what he has done. The pressure is off his shoulders. There's no more races to do. Here's the confirmed result. Sandro Giusti, 2nd place for him. A very respectable effort and another podium to go. That's 11 in total he's got in FRECA. James Wharton, our vice champion for 2024. Teofil Niall 4th. 2 4th places for him. Then Peugeot, Bedrin, Ugachukwu, David Lee, Stromstead, our rookie champion. Well done to RPM. That's their first title in their 3rd season. What an effort for Keith Donegan and his team. Gilter, Rinicella, Bora, Lacorte, Dominguez, Deligny, Maschio, Pierre, Liu, Garcia, Bidon Bhakti, Veselau, Sawyer, Bowling, Pan, Belinsky. We lost Taponen, but he is going to be on the championship podium. Third place for Tuukka Taponen, hugely deserved for his efforts throughout the season. We lost to Paolo, Claro, Badua, and Roman Andriolo. All of these drivers will be rewarded in the Freca Awards ceremony, which will take place at the circuit later this season, where we will officially give the championship trophies to our champion in Rafael Camara, our vice-champion James Wharton, Tuukka Taponen as well, our rookie champion Noah Stromstead, our team's champion as well, Prema Racing, along with other special awards. And there you can see Noah Stromstead celebrating. He's our rookie champion. Laura, though, is with our champion, Rafael Camara.
Yeah, well, an amazing season for you, 9 victory.
Yeah, I'm very happy from the start. I did a really good start, so from there I think, first lap was amazing. I went to P1, and then after that, I think we're not that fast, but luckily we managed to have a good safety car restart and maintain the gap. But yeah, anyway, I think it was a really good season. We fight at every race, every single race we were targeting the win, and yeah, it was not the best way possible to finish this season.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Well done, Rafael Camara. He's been a privilege to watch in this championship. Let's go back to the start, where Teofil Niall led us away in the 44. Sandro Giusti in the number 10 alongside him. Rafael Camara, though, was not waiting around in the red and white Prema. There he goes round the outside to take P2, showing such confidence in the car. Huang Dat Sawyer, that was at the top of screen, who bailed straight away. We saw Nandavud Bidambakti, I think that was running wide early in the race. Things would sadly get a lot worse for him at Lesmo too. They got quickly bad for Roman Andriolo, bringing out a safety car. Ugo Ugachukwu almost spun on the restart. There was a collision, was Pedro Claro clattered into Paolo and Taponen. Also a collision there that looked to Ricky Liu and Edgar Pierre, who collided into Rogia chicane, and then Ricky Liu spun corners later and collided into the path of Nandavud Bidambakti. And a car in flames for Bidambakti saw the red flag sensibly coming out with 5.5 minutes to go, and it would be checkered flag and celebrations. A record-breaking 9th win for Rafael Camara, our official champion for 2024. He'd done that at the last round. He will celebrate that at the award ceremony this evening at the circuit. James Wharton confirmed as vice-champion as well, and we saw in the background Noah Stromstead celebrating rookie championship titles. Huge congratulations to RPM when they came into this championship. I don't think it was very much a case for them of just building as a unit, and as they've gone on, they have just got better and better. 9th place they were in 2022 as a team, and then 4th place last season. This season, in a very close fight for 5th place with Santalok Racing, but they have taken that rookie championship title and done so with Noah Stromstead, who will now go off to race for Trident in FIA Formula 3. And that's a credit to them as a unit who will no doubt continue to grow. Credit to, we must give a shout out rookie-wise. There is 5 cars there, because to the right of Stromstead's green and orange RPM is the blue and white Santalok car of Enzo Peugeot, who's just taken his first rookie win. So a huge congratulations to him. And that's very deserved as well. We've seen Teofil Niall on the podium this season. We've seen Matteo De Paolo doing really well. Enzo Peugeot has done some very good performances, and he'll be on the podium. To the right there comes James Wharton, vice-champion now. To the left there, Sandro Giusti, and bang in the middle, your champion for 2024, Rafael Camara. Huge congratulations to him. Prema Racing out. They are the team's champions. Here comes Enzo Peugeot. Well done. He's driven a superb season this year, particularly when he's had to come through the field. He's made lots of places, and the Resilience Award will be given at the at this evening as well, and so will the winner of the Delano Vanthoff Award as well. So keep an eye on social media to see who wins that one, and thank you all for taking part in such a special award. Sandro Giusti, 2nd place for him. several podiums. He has a bright future ahead. No doubt about that. We saw him testing Formula 3. And so was this man, Rafael Camara, our champion. It's been a historic season for Rafael Camara, and he is going to be some prospect as he moves onwards and upwards. Rafael Camara, the Ferrari back driver, will be some watch as he moves on to the next stage of his career. Enzo Peugeot there next. It was a brave decision for Rafael Camara to stay in this championship, really. We'll come back to that in a while. Well done to Rafael Camara, our drivers' champion for 2024, Sandro Giusti, James Wharton, and Enzo Peugeot. That is all for the 2024 season. A thanks to everyone who made it happen. A thanks to all of you for taking part and viewing it. On behalf of all the drivers and the crew, thank you for being part of the 2024 Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. We will see you to do it all again for 2025 at Misano on the 3rd and 4th of May. For now, from all of us here from Monza, it is goodbye.